Well, here we go. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Good morning to the CCCSL Love Stream party people. We're so excited to have you here. And we've got the beautiful Mark Stanton Welch standing by in the wings here to bring us on. So if you're just joining us, start a watch party. Send some friends over to YouTube, to our YouTube channel if they're anti-Facebookers. and enjoy the love stream that we have prepared for you today. So I'm going to let Mark take us away. Thank you, Mark.
You are so welcome. And a blessed good morning to everyone. I want to do a little tune here devoted to the holiday that's on its way, in the grateful attitude that we can carry during this particular season. The leaves are huddled on the sleepy ground. A chill is sweeping through this tired town. Time grows shorter with each passing day. Another year has slipped away. My heart's an echo of these days gone by. Have I grown? Have I really tried? Here in this world that I've created, look at the me that I've become. Another moment stands before my eyes, another blessed chance to fly away, another gift that I can hold on to, another message from the flame. Thanksgiving Day has come again. The earth is calling to her little ones. The circles turn and the cycle's done. Now fades the picture of the outward flow. Into the silence all things go. I take these lessons from this golden year. The joy, the sorrow, each taste of fear. These are the seeds that will bear fruit for me as I become my melody. Another moment stands before my eyes, another chance that I can fly away, another gift that I can hold on to, another message from the flame. Thanksgiving Day has come again. I'm thankful for this life and the winding path of time, those bumps along the roads I chose, and all the angels on the climb. And I am thankful for this love I am, for all I've been denied, and all that I refuse to see, all that I have tried, and all these pieces I have won since the time when I'd begun. Those birds are sleeping and the trees are cold. All things return into that heart of gold. The sky is bringing forth its magic tune, the symphony of sun and moon. As I unfold, my essence multiplies. Connections with this earth intensify. To find my part in all these things I see will make this endless road complete.
Oh, that was beautiful, Mark.
Thank you so
And you
much.
truly bring the magic to our service every time you join us. I just love your music.
Thank you.
And Gina, thank you so much for your introduction. And good morning, everyone. I am Reverend Diann Davisson, the Assistant Minister at our Central Coast Center for Spiritual Living in Templeton. And our senior minister, Reverend Elizabeth, and her husband, Travis, our music director, is enjoying a beautiful day off. And I know they're out hiking a hill or taking some beautiful pictures. They're quite talented there. Our physical location for the Central Coast Center for Spiritual Living in Templeton is not open at this time. However, we are looking forward to coming back to our church once it is safe for everyone. So I'm coming to you live from Los Osos, BJ and Gina from Paso Robles, Charlie from Atascadero, and Mark from beautiful Cambria. So, with open arms and an open heart, we welcome all of you today to our sacred service, where all that we ask is that you remain open to the possibility of changing your life. How, you may ask? By simply changing your thoughts, your mind. This service has been designed especially for you, so welcome home. And please take a moment to share this video on Facebook. Start a watch party. Your friends would be very grateful that you're sharing the music and our message today with them. So now I'm going to read today's affirmation, and I invite you to repeat after me. Today, I am grateful to offer the gift of listening to everyone. I listen with an open heart. I listen with an open mind. I listen with gratefulness. I am blessed. And so it is. And now Gina will introduce our musician.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Reverend Diann. That was beautiful. And I'm going to bring in Mark one more time here. And if you've been watching us for a while, you've seen Mark. He's been joining us at least once a month or so. And, you know, Mark is pretty prolific in his music writing, his songwriting is so beautiful. It always sings right to our hearts. Mark has a wonderful website that you can connect with him and read a lot about the programs that Mark has to offer also, and that's at markstantonwelch.net. So I'm just going to let Mark sing us away once again. Thank you, Mark.
You are so welcome, and thank you for that impromptu introduction, just as I wrote it. So there's an idea that in terms of listening and our capacity to pay attention, that there's a song. There is a song for each of us. And part of our life's journey is about finding our very own song. And we'll know it when we find it. It sometimes comes through in the middle of the night when we're out perhaps doing something under the stars in terms of paying attention. One day it hit me, and this was way back in 2005. So this is called my very own song. I remember as a little one, looking out o'er my life, I would wonder and whisper, who am I? And the signs would start pouring in on the wind, on a voice. In the moments I was given, I learned I had choice. For sometimes they would lift me and cradle my heart, and sometimes they would shake me and tear me apart. In all of these moments, so full and so strong, I learned life, she was teaching me my very own song. And I remember when I left my home, I was wide-eyed with fear. That's when I first heard my melody. It was so strong and clear. And when I started teaching, it was not happenstance. That's when I found the rhythm where I learned to dance. For sometimes they'd lift me and they would cradle my heart. And sometimes they would shake me and tear me apart. In all of these moments, so full, so strong, I learned life. She was teaching me my very own song. And when I had my little girl, stood in my destiny, in the love that was born, I found my harmony. And when my family crumbled, when I stood there and cried, through that pain I found words. Now my song is alive. Oh, life, lead me along. Oh, life, please make me strong in all that you've given, in all that you take. Everything's precious, everything's made. Me, it's made. Me, la 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 da, la da da, la da 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 da, la da da da, da da da, da da da, da da. This is my own sweet melody. It's the theme for my life, composed in the fires of my choices through time. I shall sing it forever. It shall not fade away. It's the answer to all questions I ever shall make. So when those winds just keep blowing, when life pushes around, I will turn to my heart song, tune in to the sound.
Om. Yes. Thank you, Mark. That was absolutely wonderful. Good morning, CSL. I am BJ DiGirolamo, contrary to what your screen is showing you right now. And I am your announcements angel for today. All right, I will now read our mission statement. With everything we do, we aim to raise the vibe. We teach innovative spiritual practices and principles that inspire deeper love of self and others, transformation, a closer relationship with God, freedom from suffering, expansive joy, prosperity, and a healing of the body, mind, and spirit. We are a conscious group of positive, inspired, spiritually motivated individuals transforming lives. We just happen to have a spiritual center. Want to check us out? Yeah. All right. Please join us after service for coffee and conversation around 11 a.m.-ish via Zoom. And Gina is going to provide the link in the comments section here, and you can also find it on our center page in the Coffee and Conversation event. We build our immunity in spiritual community. Remember to join us every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 1 p.m., plus every Monday evening at 6:30 p.m. via Zoom for our spiritual connection call. You can find the link on our Facebook page under events. Next Sunday, we are very blessed to have the amazing Jamie Lula as our guest musician. We also have 2 grief groups beginning in December with our most beloved Assistant Spiritual Director, Reverend Diann Davisson. One in-person class at the center, practicing COVID safety precautions and guidelines, which will be on Tuesdays for 8 weeks, beginning December 1st through January 19th, from 10:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. The cost for this is $49 plus $16 for the book, and it is limited to 6 people. You can register at ccccsl.org. There's also a Zoom class beginning Wednesdays for 8 weeks, which will start December 2nd through January 20th from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Again, the cost is $49 plus $16 for the book, and this one is limited to 12 people. Again, you can register at ccccsl.org. And please remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can find it here at www.youtube.com/Central Coast Center for Spiritual Living. And Amazon Smile. This is a great way for you to help fundraise for our center by signing up for Amazon Smile. For every purchase you make, Amazon will donate a small percentage of the sale to CCCSL. That's right. Amazon wants to give us money. And all you need to do is go to smile.amazon.com and sign up. Then just shop through that link and we will see the abundance flow. Lastly, if you are able, please remember to continue to donate to our center during this unique time. Our operations are fully supported by your generosity, and we are looking forward to gathering at our physical center in the future. You can donate here on Facebook Live with the donate button, and Gina will provide the PayPal link to donate in the comments section. You can also visit our landing page and click on the donation link in the center of the page. Thank you for your consideration. We love you guys. Peace out. Reverend Diann, back to you.
Peace back to you. Thank you, BJ. That was wonderful. And for those that don't know, both BJ and Gina are currently in their professional practitioner studies class. So we're so excited that they said yes to that journey. And this is the time I'm going to invite all of you to send us a prayer request. If you're experiencing some challenges right now, whatever may be going on for you, the holidays are just around the corner, or if you want to be raised and praised for something wonderful that's happening in your life, you need to reach out to us and send us your prayer request at info@ccccsl.org, or just pick up your phone, give me a call directly at 714-273-9014. Myself, Reverend Elizabeth, and our outreach practitioners, Maria and Jeffrey, we all met him last week. What a beautiful prayer he gave. So, as we know, if you don't ask, you're not going to receive. So I encourage you to ask and allow us to give you the gift of prayer. And now, Charlie will share with us his insightful spiritual mind reading. Charlie?
Thank you, Diann. Thank you very much. Today I'm going to look at viewing life as a series of fortunate events. Gratitude is one of the chief causes, chief graces of human existence. Even those who do not usually say grace before meals would do well to lift their thoughts in thanks and gratitude. Put aside all those thoughts of worry, distrust, and anxiety, thereby ensuring wonderful digestion and more. This is a perfect aid to health, as well as a good starting place. Well, let us continue. Be grateful for everything. In everything you do or say, give thanks, and more. Be grateful. An attitude of gratitude is quite beneficial. An attitude of gratitude reflects the realization that we are now in heaven. We may love to do for those who cooperate with us and are grateful for our small endeavors. However, we must be grateful for everything. To daily meditate on the perfect life is a royal road to freedom. To daily embody the attitude of gratitude takes one to a place of peace that feeds the soul abiding happiness. Let us learn to see as God must with a perfect vision. Let us seek the good and the true. Let us believe in the gratefulness within our whole heart. Let us be grateful constantly and continuously, very grateful. Let us daily say to ourselves, perfect God is within me, perfect life is within me. This is God coming forth into expression through me. Lead me ever into the paths of perfection and cause me to see only the good. For this and so much more I am grateful. Gratitude with the great joy and harmony is one of the pinnacles of treatment. With this practice my soul is illuminated. Harmony abounds. Peace surrounds me. I am truly overwhelmed. Gratefulness abides. Let us pray and be forever grateful. And so it is.
Oh, yeah, Charlie, I'm so grateful for you and your words. And so, yes, let us pray with gratitude. So I just want to invite everybody to take a breath where you're at and center yourself in your space. And together, we all do this by feeling that presence of God wherever it is in your being, in your body, or outside of your body, that you connect to the Most High. And so as we do this together, we can acknowledge that there is truly only one Spirit and one God that is the creator of all things. And not only the creator, but is all things. So I know that God is the mountains, God is the flowers, the streams, the heavens, the clouds, the planet, the earth, all the humanity, all of us expressing in so many unique and different ways, yet all having that same quality of spirit flowing through us at all times. We can never be anything other than that. We can never be anything other than the goodness of God. And whatever may seem to be different than that is only a little bit of unconsciousness of separation, because that is not the truth of who we are. The truth is we are always connected. And I know that this day, this service that we are all practicing in right now together is divinely guided. And we are blessed to have Spirit speak to us in so many different and unique ways, just like Spirit just spoke through Charlie and his beautiful reading and his wonderful interpretations that he puts together for us every Sunday of the teachings of Ernest Holmes, and bringing his own unique expression of it to us. And just like Mark writes these beautiful words, and that Spirit guides his fingers and his beautiful voice and the words that come through him to speak to us in a different and unique way. And the words of Reverend Diann that are spoken today, we're so grateful for, as she teaches us to listen with gratitude. And for BJ and her exuberance and her joyfulness in presenting our announcements for today, and for myself to just be a channel of Spirit. So together, you as the listeners also are participating in creating this experience with us. And you are the face of God, and I am grateful for it. And so I am grateful for all we have. I am grateful for knowing that the truth is we are God in form and expressing as such. I am grateful for the beauty that we all share together. I am grateful for this technology to allow us to create a wonderful service and to reach out across the globe to each other. And so we could just let go now and allow spirit to unfold in front of us in all these beautiful and unique ways. So we just release, let it be, enjoy the ride. And together we just say, and so it is. So it is. Yeah, thank you.
I'll do a medley of some songs that are aligned with the theme. In the still small voice, listen for an answer. It may be a whisper, sounding like a dream. In a still small voice, there will be an answer. It is the voice of God. Listen for the voice of God. Into the silence, I tune to the sound. Divine inspiration goes dancing around. A sweet swirling peace softens my heart, and I'm simply carried away to the magical mind and the heavenly heart, where I'm given the wings from whence I do start to move into action and chart the best course. The silence gives birth to the dream. Listen, listen, listen to my heart song. Listen, listen, listen to my heart song. I will never forget you. I will never forsake you. I will never forget you. I will never forsake you. I am here for you, as you are here for me. We are here to help one another. I am here for you, as you are here for me, and we are here to serve one another. One another, one another. Together, yes, one another. One another, one another. Together, yes, one another. Heartbeat, angels all around me, open me up like the flower to the sunlight. A new way of being, a new way of seeing. Higher, higher heartbeats, angels all around me, open me up just like the flower to the sunlight. A new way of being, a new way of seeing. Higher, higher. Thank you for loving me. Thank you for loving me. Accepting me just the way that I am. Thank you for loving me. Thank you for loving me. Thank you for loving me. accepting me just the way that I am. Yes, accepting me just the way that I am. Accepting me just the way that I am. Thank you for loving me.
Oh, beautiful, Mark. Once
Thank
again,
you.
you hit
Thank
it
you.
out of the ballpark. And we are here for you. And I know, thank you, with gratitude, you're here for us, just like Mark sang. Well, good morning again. I am Reverend Diann Davisson, the Assistant Minister at our Central Coast Center for Spiritual Living in Templeton. And this month, Reverend Elizabeth has been talking about being grateful. And 'tis the season, right? With Thanksgiving right around the corner. And our theme for November is put on your grateful glasses. And I know how grateful I am just to have these glasses to see clearly my outer vision. However, by putting on our grateful glasses is to see from within as we look out into the world through the lens of our gratefulness. Reverend Elizabeth shared with us by using gratitude as a spiritual practice, not only can we change our attitude, but it's also good for our health and it makes other people feel better around us. In our Science of Mind classes, we have a new class that came out this year. Some of you have already taken it, called Spiritual Principles and Practices. And in this class, we learn what practices and methods we can use to embody and to practice those principles. When we are practicing gratitude, we are using the spiritual principle of creation, seeing creation as life affirming, looking for the good, and focusing on the allness of life, regardless of what the outside conditions may appear to be. And gratitude is more than an emotion. It's an attitude that carries us through our doubts, our fears, and struggles. And we're not discounting our emotions, but what we're simply doing is just shifting our attitude and in how we choose to see life. In our spiritual mind treatments, our form of prayer, being thankful and grateful is the fourth step in our prayers. And we start our spiritual mind treatment, our prayers, with the recognition that God is all there is. There is no place where God is not. And then we unify this truth within ourselves. God and I are one. And this moves us into a deep realization of what we want to create. What do we want to manifest? And when we move through with gratitude, we are accepting that which has not manifested, yet we are being in gratitude, knowing that it is already done in our lives. Then we release our prayer, we let go into that creative process of the law. For example, I'm thankful for knowing we will be back at our church building. I'm grateful for the perfect outcome for my doctor's appointment on Tuesday. And I'm grateful knowing that all my needs are met. Wow, I can just feel that in my body, that shift. And there are many methods to practice gratitude, as Reverend Elizabeth shared with us in the prior weeks, such as keeping a gratitude journal and writing thank you notes. Those are all wonderful ideas she shared with us. I believe one of the greatest gifts of gratitude we can give another person is that gift of compassionate listening. And as we gather this holiday in this season, so we're just around the corner, in whatever form our gathering will look like, whether it's Zoom or in person, 6 feet apart, we are going to be around family, friends, and coworkers. And there will be people there that we can't wait to see and connect with. And there'll be others that will push our buttons. Emotions usually run high during the holiday season, and this year, with all the changes and uncertainties, they may be at their peak. But this is an opportunity for us to express our gratitude in ways that truly shows the other that gift of compassionate listening. And today I'm going to share with you how to show our gratitude through the gift of compassionate listening to ease each other's way. And it's through truly knowing how to listen to the other person. And when we do this, we are creating this energy of peacefulness, of connections to each other, and a sense of well-being. A shift happens, and there becomes this deeper connection between two souls. You can feel it. I know I can. I can see it. I can sense it when it's happening. And I also can sense it when it's not happening. Have you ever felt that no one was listening to you? Or has anyone asked you, are you really hearing what I'm saying? I know I have. And so how do we move past that? The first step in being a good listener is to extend compassion and unconditional love to ourselves. By extending the gift of compassion and gratitude to ourselves, it allows our hearts to open up, to feel, and it helps us to be authentically present to the other. And we know when we are not in that heart space, at least I know when I'm not there, and we may catch ourselves listening to some judgments or thinking of ideas that we're going to rebuttal back to the person that is sharing. But as we anchor ourselves in unconditional love in our hearts, this is the first step in connecting with another. And to help us remember and to cultivate compassionate listening in our everyday lives, just not once in a while, I want us to think of a BLT sandwich. Yes, it's the favorite sandwich. It's on most lunch menus. But today we are going to use different ingredients. Instead of bacon, lettuce, and tomato, our ingredients that we're going to be using in our sandwich is breathe, listen, and trust. It is our breath that grounds us. And I'm always so grateful when I hear Karen Roberts say or write, hand over your heart and breathe, because I need to be reminded of that every single day. I remember when I was working as a chaplain at Long Beach Memorial and Miller's Children's Hospital down in Long Beach, when responding either to a code blue or I was paged to go to ER, I had no idea what I would be walking into. Whether it's from the unimaginable death of a child or serious injury or someone in the midst of a cardiac arrest or a horrible traffic accident. However, the way I was able to navigate through those experiences was by focusing on my breath, keeping me grounded as I move from my head of any fears or anxiety into my heart to be open and compassionate, and most important, to be present in the moment. With my faith, I would say something in my head like this: God is all there is. There is no place where God is not. I am one with God. God is right here in this room, and God is with every single person. And I would say that over and over again in my mind, my heart. We know that by focusing on our breath is also the best first aid we can give to our bodies and our soul. It immediately lowers our blood pressure, lowers our heart rate, our muscles begin to relax, we become grounded, focused, and our fears and anxiety start to dissipate. Once we have cultivated our self-compassion, we've grounded ourselves with our breath, Then we move into the lettuce or the listening part of our BLT sandwich. And I love the correlation with the green color of a lettuce because green represents our heart chakra. And this is where we want to go, to our heart with ears to listen. And as we are offering this gift of compassion, of listening to others, it's always helpful to be reminded, what is a good listener look like? What does a good listener look like to you? Has anyone said to you, are you listening? And I want to give us a few suggestions. The first one we want to do is we want to be sitting up and leaning slightly forward. We don't want to have our arms or legs crossed. We want to maintain eye contact with the person sharing. Even if their eyes go up or gaze downward, we're going to focus on their eyes because the eyes are the entry into their soul. We know we're not going to check our cell phones or our watch, and we're going to nod our head. Not in agreement, but just to show them that we are following their story or their concerns that they're sharing. And we already know that we're not going to fix, we're not going to give advice, and this is not the time to offer a good book that may help them. We're not going to interrupt them. We're going to keep our opinions, our stories, or our interpretations to ourselves. And we're going to soften our voice. When you do speak in a kind voice, it's easier for other people to hear. Not in a voice or a tone like you're gathering information and we're going to go take the 8 o'clock flight from here to Cabo on Saturday. We want to soften that voice. And we also know that when somebody is very emotional, we may want to reach out and touch them or hug them, but we're not going to because that stops the flow of their emotions. And same with handing a Kleenex. We're not going to run to them and give them some Kleenex if we're in the same vicinity with them. And afterwards, we're not going to go in for a hug. We're going to always ask, would you like a hug? Another important part of listening is to share with that person before you start if you have any time constraints. And so you might say to them, oh, Edith, I am so glad you called, but I just have about 15 minutes till my next commitment. I'm going to set my alarm so I can be totally present. I want to hear what you have to say. And once that alarm goes off, please keep your integrity and say, thank you, Edith, for sharing. I got to keep my commitment. I love you. We'll talk again. So I'm going to share with you the gift of 3 simple questions that you're going to be able to remember to ask someone as a compassion listener. Now remember, when people are upset or they're tender, perhaps over COVID or losing their unemployment benefits, or maybe about the elections, or maybe someone just got laid off, they're angry, they're frustrated, maybe they just got betrayed by somebody they love, or someone just got devastating news that they're going to have surgery or they're moving into hospice. These people, our loved ones, are very, very sensitive. And we would all be, wouldn't we? They're very sensitive. So our purpose in compassionate listening is in offering that gift to the other person. And we know as we give, we do receive back, because what we're doing is we're helping in relieving their pain and suffering. So the 3 questions that you're going to ask is the first one, tell me what happened. Second question, did anything else happen? And the third question, tell me more about that. And if they've already started coming out with their story, then we're just going to sit there and listen with our hearts that have ears. By telling their story or what just happened, without us interrupting them, this allows the person's emotions a chance to come to the surface. We are helping them to release this emotional energy and not suppress it, just like letting the steam out of a teapot. And this is what our professional practitioners do, don't they? They listen with a heart of compassion. Thich Nhat Hanh, the Buddhist monk, says this: you listen with only one purpose, to help them empty their heart of suffering. Even if they say things that are full of wrong perceptions, full of bitterness, you are still capable of continuing to listen with compassion. And through our compassion listening, we are seeking to let the other person know we heard them and we acknowledge their pain. It doesn't mean we're agreeing with them. And through this gift of listening, we are creating this holy, sacred, safe place for them and for us. We have all suffered at some time or another in our life, and maybe people right now, maybe some of you are suffering right now. And for someone to acknowledge our pain and be compassionate with it is the gift of that, is a gift of unconditional love, isn't it? And this is the gift I am asking all of us to give this holiday season, starting today. Dr. Rachel Naomi Remen puts it this way: when you listen generously to people, they can hear truth in themselves, often for the first time. And in the silence of listening, you can know yourself in everyone. Eventually, you may be able to hear in everyone and beyond everyone. The unseen singing softly to itself and to you. Isn't that beautiful? It touched my heart. And that is the gift of gratitude and unconditional love. I think of Karen Roberts and Mama Jody, who gives every week their unconditional love, their compassionate hearts, as they facilitate our weekly connections. They've opened up their hearts, and when we participate, it makes us to feel good. They hear our stories and we feel connected. And yet, the ability to be comfortable in the silence is one of the most difficult therapeutic skills to master. Staying in the present moment is not always easy, yet this is the gift that we are giving. If you've realized you've slipped out of the present moment, don't worry about it. Just breathe. If you got lost in their story, we're going to apologize and let them know. And we're going to summarize what we heard so far before we lapsed. And this is being so honest and authentic. And this continues to create that space of safeness and of vulnerability for both of us. The best gift we can give to someone suffering is to make that connection through compassionate listening. It reminds me of a book, When Bad Things Happen to Good People. This has been around for a long time by Rabbi Kushner. And for years, he would go visit other people in their homes that had experienced death and grief. Then came a time when he had to deal with the devastating loss of his own teenage son. And in his book, he tells us the person that was the most helpful in his grief was a man that came over, sat on the couch with him, barely said a word, and did not leave the rabbi when he was crying, wailing, and out of control emotionally. That person bared witness to his pain, to his suffering, and did not leave the rabbi alone. He shared in the rabbi's grief. In compassionate listening, we can also use reflective listening as another tool. And there's a powerful example of this in a story about a father and his young daughter on an airplane. And all this little girl wanted was her stuffed zebra that her daddy absentmindedly packed in the suitcase that was checked in. I'm sorry, honey. I can't get you Zebra right now. He's in the big suitcase in another part of the airplane, he explained. I want my zebra, she whined pitifully. I know, sweetheart. Zebra isn't here. He's in the baggage compartment underneath the plane, and Daddy can't get to him right now. When we get off the plane, I'll get him for you. I'm sorry. I want Zebra. I want Zebra, she moaned. Then she started to cry and twisting, trying to get out of her seat to go get Zebra. I know you want Zebra, but he's not here, and I can't do anything about it. Look, why don't we read about Ernie? Not Ernie, she wailed, angry now. I want Zebra. I want him now. It finally dawned on him that he was not understanding her. He had not gotten into her bucket. Then a shift took place. You wish you had Zebra now. Yeah, she said softly. And you are angry because we can't get him for you. Yeah. You wish you could have Zebra right now, he repeated. As she stared at him, looking rather curious, almost surprised. Yeah, she muttered. I want him now. You're tired now, and smelling Zebra and cuddling with him would make you feel real good. I wish I could give you Zebra so you could hold him. Yes, she agreed. We can't get Zebra because he's in another part of the airplane. And that makes you feel frustrated. Yeah, she said with a sigh. As Daddy watched the tension leave her face, she rested her head against the back of the seat, and within a few minutes, she was asleep. When this little girl, just like us, knew that Daddy understood how she felt, and she heard him, she felt better. And that is the gift of compassionate listening. The last ingredient in our BLT sandwich is trust. And how do we trust? We build trust through building our inner sanctuary, our inner foundation, using our spiritual principles. And we all know when we did not trust ourselves or listen to our intuition or that still small voice inside that Mark sang about. I know I've said to myself, oh my gosh, I knew better. Why didn't I listen? Why didn't I listen? And we've all been in situations where the unexpected happens and we have to trust. I think about all those people that have lost their homes in the fires. They've had to go deep into their trust, trusting their faith. I remember one weekend at the hospital when I was paged by a social worker from labor and delivery, as she did not know what to do with this family that wanted to take their deceased baby home with them. She asked if I would visit them and see what I could do. As I entered the room, it was a large Hispanic family, and they were the real deal. The cowboy boots, the cowboy hats, and the cowboy boots. The bereavement protocol had been followed. The little baby was dressed and in a little basket, and the family was ready to leave and go home. I had no idea what I was going to do, but I breathed. I listened. I trusted, and we prayed. And something dropped into my heart. I had thought to myself, I had seen all these mothers throughout the years carrying their babies down to their waiting car. And I felt that this mother should have the same dignity and experience. I suggested that mother carry her baby down to their car. And once we were there, she would give me the baby back, assuring her I would take such good care of him. They agreed. So we got the wheelchair. We took the service elevators where there would be the least amount of people around, down to ER, not the main entrance where their van was waiting. And by the grace of God, she kissed her baby goodbye and handed him to me. And here I was with a deceased baby in one arm, my notebook in the other, and an empty wheelchair. Before the family's van took off, the housekeepers that had been watching while they were on their lunch break immediately came over and took the wheelchair from me. They recognized my need. They trusted their intuition, and they reached out to help. I was so overwhelmed with emotions and gratitude. I had to trust that voice within to guide me, and I listened. Just as Jesus trusted his relationship with his Father, as he said, the Father and I are one. Yes. And what holds our BLT sandwich together? It's the bread of life. Just like we need food every day to survive, so too we need our spiritual bread each day to survive. Our daily bread is our spiritual practice, and this is what holds us together through tough times and the good times, through COVID, through uncertainties, and life's many, many changes. So our call to action, let's start today by practicing compassionate listening. Let us make this a part of our daily bread. Compassionate listening is a spiritual practice. It's a skill set and a process to bring us closer to each other. Let's use our BLT sandwich to remind us to breathe, listen, and trust as we nurture each other as well as ourselves. So to remind us, our 3 questions are, number 1, tell me what happened. Number 2, is there anything else that happened? And number 3, tell me more. And so in closing, I would like to share with you one of my favorite prayers from the Bible. It's the Lord's Prayer. And this is the prayer that Jesus taught his disciples when they asked him to teach them about healing others and having compassion. And if you know it, please join with me. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forevermore. And so it is. Amen.
I'm standing in the line. I turn and catch the person's eyes. I can turn away, or I can give a smile. It's a chance to make a difference, to brighten up a day. I praise the God within. I send a precious love bouquet. A man is seeking money. He's living on the street. I see his sign and I judge. I'm thinking he'll drink instead of eat. So I start to turn the corner. When I turn to see his face, I see the God within him. I place 20 on his plate. Throughout the day they come, moments meant for me. Throughout the day life, she just lays him at my feet. She says, have compassion. She says, take the risk. She says, go on, just love the one you're with. She says, go on and love the one you're with. A spider in the bathtub, or a fly upon the wall, a traffic jam, the couple fighting somewhere down the hall, or the man who cut before me, or the waitress late and rude. Within these golden moments lies fundamental truth. To get the love I want, I must give the love I seek. For as I do for you, my friend, someone will do for me. You see, these laws of love, they're written, they're embedded in the heart. And what stands right here before me is a perfect place to start. Oh, so Lord, give me situations to practice loving sweet and ease the pain of living, yes, in everyone I meet. And let me grow in bunches from the inside to the out. And let me know that love is all I'll ever be about. Throughout the day there'll come these moments meant for me. Throughout the day life, she'll just lay them at my feet. She says, have compassion. She says, take the risk. And she says, go on, just love the one you're with. She says, go on and love the one you're with. She says, go on, just love the one you're with. Yes, I'm standing in the line. I turn, I catch the person's eye. I can turn away, or I can give a smile.
Oh, Mark, thank you, thank you, thank you. Beautiful. And that's what I want to do this season, is look at all those, find all those golden moments and just to appreciate it. And I appreciate all of you today that are listening. So now is our time to give of our gratitude from our abundance and to give of our hearts. So I'm going to ask us to say our offering affirmation with me. If you want to repeat after me. From the love of pure spirit within me, I bless this gift. I send it forth to heal and bless and prosper. It is evidence of my faith and my belief. It does great work in the world and returns to me multiplied abundantly. And so it is. Yes. Well, won't you know with me that you are never alone, that God is right where you are now and always, and that all we ever need to do is simply turn within. It is here we will find, and we will be guided, sustained, and directed, and inspired by a source that only knows good. Joyously, let us make use of these gifts in all that we think, all that we say, and all that we do. Yes. So please repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening to me right now. It is this thing called life. It is in my mind. Life is in my body. Life is in my pocketbook. Life is in all my relationships. I think it. I feel it. I believe it. I express it. I accept it just the way it is and just the way it is not. Thank you, life, and thank you to all of you. You are a blessing. Namaste.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you, Reverend Diann. What a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful sermon you gave us today. We've learned so much, and we so appreciate all the service you gave to so many people throughout the years in your chaplaincy. And so, Mark, we're going to go do a little Zoom coffee and conversation. Mark, you join us today?
I will be for a short time. I'm working with some teenagers down in Southern California, so I'll have to leave. But I can come and say hello and thank you.
Great, good. Well, why don't you strum us out, and we'll go over to Zoom. I'll put the link in the chat right now for people to join us.
Heartbeats, angels all around me, open me up like the flower to the sunlight. A new way of being, a new way of seeing. Higher, higher. Heartbeats, angels all around me, open me up like the flower to the sunlight. A new way of being, a new way of seeing. Higher, higher. Heartbeats, angels all around me, open me up like the flower to the sunlight. A new way of being, a new way of seeing. Higher, higher. Heartbeats, angels around me, open me up just like the flower to the sunlight. A new way of being, a new way of seeing. Higher, higher. Thank you, life.